Hello ladies and gents, Ro here, welcome to NOandROfilms, and today we're going to be continuing our Motion 5 tutorials. And let me open up my project here, which I believe I already have open. And in the previous tutorial we covered animations for text, and we basically created a basic animation. If you look right here, I'm going to play my movie here right from the beginning, and you'll see the marbles in animation. And as you can see, that it is pretty cool, so I do suggest you check out the previous tutorial if you do not know how to do animations and how to make them go out. And as you can see, we have our text that disappear at the end of our clip here as well, just which is called tadpole out. And in this tutorial I'm going to cover a few more things regarding animations, but mainly we're going to cover effects. So first off is I want to mention that you can adjust the length, which I did mention in the previous tutorial, but you can adjust the length of the animation. So let's say you want it longer. So I just now expanded it by, like, I believe 4 or 5 seconds here. So I'm going to play it, and you can see the animation goes a lot slower and it lasts for a longer duration of time. So you could also do that by in your timeline by simply dragging it where you want it. And you can also adjust it there through your inspector as well. So let's jump straight into our effects. And there's also, just like you have a lot of animations, you have a lot of effects. Plus you can make your own animations, and you could even make your own effects. So there's really an unlimited amount of effects in animations. So let's not get too confused at the moment, but effects, animations, basically like moving, and well, they're actually very similar, but let's just say that there's a pretty good difference. So for effects, we're gonna go straight to if you don't have this window open, as you can see, if you only see this on project, just go to your bottom left hand corner, click that little eye inspector, and then instead of file browser, you're gonna go to like file browsers, where you would import your own animations, or you would import your own movies, projects, photos, or effects. So we're gonna go to a library though. These are the built-in Motion 5 effects, and you can see there's a whole bunch here that you can see. Like, you can even find your text animations in here as well. But if you click on it, it will actually show you, give you an example of them as well. Like, you click on any of these, like particle imitators, afterburn, you can see it up here what it looks like. So the best way I find to do these here is actually I go straight and actually I just go into the search bar, and then I just search for what effect I want. So let's say I want to look for explosion. Who doesn't like explosions, right? And you can see there's already two right there, options right there. Explosion, which I don't really need to type it out, so I'm going to put explosion, and we have 2 explosions. You click on one, shows you basic explosion. Then you got shrapnel explosion, and there's another one. That looks pretty cool. I'd say the shrapnel, because we could actually expand this one as well. So we have our cheesecake. Let's say explode. But even though I don't really want my cheesecake to explode, so let's just drag this in here. And you can either drag in or double click, and it will open. But I'm going to drag it in for this purpose. I'm going to put it right here on top. And actually, it appeared right behind my cheesecake, which is where we don't want it. Actually, no, it's right on top. And as you can see, since I had my project, from my timeline project line right here, the explosion is going to happen at this point here. So in order to, you can actually expand how big the explosion you want it to be by adjusting these, and you can rotate the explosion by rotating it through here. But for now, we're just going to look at our explosion through here at the bottom, and it's like towards the end of the clip, which we actually want to drag it even more towards the end of the clip. That way it's always at the bottom. And you're going to want to drag both of these items here that are connected to the explosion, which is the confetti and the shrapnel explosion. Because the confetti helps the explosion make it look like more realistic. But here, we're going to play it, our explosion here. That is very, very small right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand it actually and move it, center it again, back to the center. And we're going to click here and play it again. I'm simply playing around in my timeline right now, and I'm adjusting the actual explosion and how big I want it to look, and I keep placing my cursor in my timeline to the beginning of the explosion to see how big it actually is. And you can see it's actually really small, so we can expand it more, and then go back here. Oh, looks like it's not even changing. I'm not really sure what I'm changing the size of, because I'm changing the size of the confetti. Yeah, if you look here, you have two different. You have the confetti and you have the shrapnel explosion. You want to select the shrapnel explosion part and change the size of that, not the confetti. Confetti itself Let me see what that's for exactly. Yeah, the confetti. I can't seem to figure out what the confetti is for. I thought it was the little pieces right there in the explosion itself, but it looks like it's like completely something else. But I assume it's required here just for this explosion. So I'm gonna actually make this just big enough to cover most of my cheesecake here. And I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the explosion and play it again. As you can see, our explosion is getting bigger and bigger as we expand it. And then also, you can go to the inspector here, and then also adjust its size through here. You can change it to 3D, which right now we're not worried about 3D because that's gonna be a whole different tutorials. But birth rate is what we're gonna want to increase, because this is showing. You can see, if you look at the right hand side here, you can see the different kind of explosions, like and more than one explosion basically happening inside of that one explosion. If you play it, you can see that multiple explosions are now happening, and that's where you're adjusting the birth rate. And then you got the life, like how long it lasts, and these are mostly all very self-explanatory. But like the shrapnel here, this is the only thing I'm trying to figure out at the moment. Like I'm trying to figure out what that actually goes to. Oh, now I see it. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but there's little dots on the screen here, which was I was correct. I don't know if you see them. I'm selecting them right here. If you have put this full screen and HD, you'll be able to see these dots. When I click this and I click it, the dots will disappear. Meaning that's the shrapnel. That's what they're referring to. Now I get it what it is for. But other than that, you guys, that's how you make That's basically explosion effect. And there's so many different effects. You go to the library again and hit that search button and just search for what effect you're looking for. Like maybe type in some random dance, and then we got Dal dance, which looks like something you would put in a music video. But other than that, you guys, let me know if you have any questions at all. I'd be glad to answer. And any tutorials that you guys suggest, or what you guys like me to cover next in Motion 5, because there's so many things honestly I could cover in Motion. So let me leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching. Later.
Let my life be the proof of your love.